All right, guys. Congrats to those that made the playoffs. It's a good season. It kind of came down to the last week, but it didn't, which there wasn't really many imps this last week. We've got the best teams in, which is nice to see. Jair finished at 10-4 and got the bye. So good for him. DT also at 10-4 while scoring about 300 points less. So yeah, Jair had the tiebreaker. So Jair, number one seed in the bye. So DT's playing Andy. Patty against Lehrman, and then Kerry Dunlap against Olin in the 4-5 matchup. So we've got some good ones. 8-6. Everyone above 8-6 or above that made it. So that's good. And no one I think last year wasn't Matt like 13-1 or something crazy. But anyways, we'll start with Olin and Kerry. He got off to a good start with White last week. Good job having. Actually, I don't know if he picked him up or not, but plugged in his handcuff. Got 16 points, which is legit. Justin Fields against Cleveland's going to be a tough matchup. Tua, maybe without Tyreek, who's on her team. That's going to be interesting to see what happens there. That could make or break her. Otherwise, she already has Jacoby Myers on her bench that went for 15.6. So I know she doesn't like seeing that. But I mean, you can't bench Tyreek, DK, or DJ Moore for him. So I guess if Tyreek can't go, she'd be subbing in Adam Thielen. Both of them play at 1 o'clock, so she's got some wiggle room there. But I think there's also potentially supposed to be some rain in and out and wind in and out down there in Miami. So, but I mean, it's Tua, so should be fine. You got to start him. Gibson gonna slot in for him, especially with Pacheco out. Man, Pacheco out and Jacobs out. That's rough, but Gibson's gonna be the starter there with Brian Robinson being injured and being out. On the flip side, Joe Mixon against Minnesota and Foreman against Cleveland. Not a huge fan there, so I like Olin in that spot. Ayuk, Metcalf, Elijah Moore. That's tough. Olin's just like skating by, trying to like survive this week. Kraft and Freiermuth's garbage, but AJ Brown, now that's nice. So's DJ Moore, but again, going against Cleveland, you got Foreman and DJ Moore against Cleveland defense, so that's tricky. Should probably gonna be low scoring. Love Fred Warner. That guy's been a stud this year. He's 7th at his position. Wagner's no slouch. He's 5th at his position. So, really good matchups this week. Man, it's really going to hinge on Tua and Tyreek. I think Tyreek plays. I think I'm going to give Kerry slight edge. All right, next we got Lair against Patty. All right, another good matchup. Patty got bailed out last second touchdown there by Quentin Johnson. His team's banged up, man. Keenan Allen, Tank Dell. But he filled in, got Quentin, got 9.3. That's all he could ask for. And then he's sitting there with Rashad White, Chuba Hubbard, and Barkley. Barkley's going to tear up New Orleans. Purdy's going to tear up Arizona. And then Green Bay's run defense is garbage. So he's going to do, I think his running backs all there look really good. And then Amon-Ra against Denver. Denver's been a tough defense. And Goff has not been great. But Amon-Ra is a top 10 guy. So gotta like that, and gotta like Kittle against Arizona. What did he do last time against Arizona? What did you see? 1 catch on 1 target for 9 yards. Yeah, so he's due against Arizona. Lamar though, again, Lair, I jinxed the Derrick Henry a couple weeks ago when I said I bet on his touchdown prop, and it hit actually. But I'll tell you, I bet on. I didn't bet, but I got a parlay going with Lamar to have over 1.5 combined pass rush or receiving touchdowns. So let's hope he gets 2, right? Anyways, that's the Sunday night game, but I do like Lamar against Jacksonville. Derrick Henry against Houston, not as much. Brees against Miami, not as much, but he'd be catching a lot of balls out of the backfield. I think last time that was that crazy defensive Hail Mary touchdown game. He still got 8.4 points, 7 carries for 25 yards, but he also had 7 catches for a whopping 24 yards. So 7 catches, 3.5 points. CeeDee Lamb, stud, solid. Isaiah Likely, Roquan. Oh man, Roquan is so he's a LB1 at his position. But guess who is 1 overall? Aluakon. Oh, love that there. Jerome Ford, Saquon. Patty's got this. Patty's got this. Oh, love Patty's team could put up 150 this week. Gosh, his only weak spot already went, got 9.4. Good win, Patty. Next and lastly, we got Andy against DT. He traded Kelsey away and Gibbs away to get Jefferson, and I can't remember who else he got. Maybe it was Ingram, but anyways, it's gonna be a good one. DT's got the QB for Detroit, and Andy's got the running back. So who's gonna have the better game? Goff, I feel like, has the better matchup. No, I guess, Denver's run defense is like skewed because of that big game where they gave up like 400 yards against Miami and like 5 touchdowns. But so they're like forever the bottom, but they've been playing a lot better recently. It is in Detroit, so home Jared Goff tends to be a little bit better. But Josh Allen, that game's projected to be so high scoring. So DT is like really like, okay, well, I like to hedge against Buffalo, but I'm also playing against Josh Allen. So will he bet on Josh Allen props? Don't know. James Conner against San Francisco. Jalen Warren against Indy. Indy, was it Grover Stewart, I think, on the defensive tackle, is back. So not as good of a run situation as it would lead on to be. Kenneth Walker, depending on that game script, could get kind of scripted out a little bit. Olave question mark, Jefferson question mark, but if they both play, which sounds like Olave's potentially less likely to play than Jefferson. I've heard some thoughts that like Jefferson just bowed out because he was like, man, this guy's garbage, Dobbs garbage, and he's the one that's pulling strings for Mullen. So don't be surprised if he scores a touchdown this week when Mullen says, hey, thanks for asking for me. Drake London against Carolina, Kelsey. I did bet on the Kelsey over in one of those. I think that's the same parlay. It's a Lamar Jackson. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. I jinxed you, Andy. Bet on Josh Allen over like 250 yards with a Kelsey over 66 and a Lamar over 1.5 TD. That's my three-person no sweat parlay that get the money back if you get it wrong. But Pacheco out. Looks good for Andy there. Cortland Sutton, man, he should torch Detroit. We'll see if he does, but man, this is a good one. Man, that's tough because Olave and Jefferson got a lot of firepower, and if it's, I think I'm gonna go Andy. Sorry, DT. I just like the way, like, I feel like Josh Allen. This could be a 40-point week for him, man. It's going to be hard not to play him in DFS this week. I haven't set my lineup or looked at the pay lines not pay lines, but the pricing. So, all right. So I got Andy, I've got Patty, and I've got, what did I say? Did I say Carrie? Shoot, I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch. I think I probably said Carrie. In any case, best of luck, everyone. The winner of Carey and Olin's matchup will be the one playing Jair, and then the other 2 games winners will play each other for the semis next week. All right, later, guys.